Hey, Elamin, if we have a moment just to show each one of the finalists before we go to their presentations? Can we do that?
It
We
was
can do that, okay. All
it was
right.
up, but
Oh, I'm sorry. There we are. So Elamin and Wolf Tai Nguyen in Vietnam. We'll have apologize for mispronouncing, Jia Kai and Fatime Bakhtiari will be in our next group. So we'll begin with you, Ella. Min, are you ready to make your presentation?
Yes, amazing.
Okay, turn your camera on and here we go.
All right, perfect. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, judges. First, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for this opportunity to share my experience and vision in creating our sustainable world. Artificial intelligence is transforming every aspect of our lives, whether it's through innovations like ChatGPT, robotics, genetic analysis, or climate change models. Increased AI usage is reshaping society. However, as we deploy AI more widely, our energy demands grow accordingly. According to the US Energy Information Administration, AI's energy consumption is expected to double from 176 terawatt hours in 2023 to 580 terawatt hours by 2028. I sincerely hope that this surge in energy demand will be met with predominantly clean energy rather than fossil fuels. With this in mind, today's speech will focus on my personal research regarding the intersection of AI and clean energy. Hi, I'm Ella Min, a junior at Amador Valley High School and a committed solar activist. At my school, where a solar and storage system was installed, no one really knew its impact. How much money were we saving, or how much it helped the environment? That just didn't sit right with me. So I partnered with Stanford Sustainable Systems Lab and spent months analyzing 3 years of energy data. I discovered that my school achieved 100% carbon-free electricity, reduced emissions by 75%, and saved around 1.8 million over the system's lifetime. Savings that could benefit our students, our classrooms, and our teachers. With this evidence, I was selected to speak in support of California Senator Josh Becker's Senate Bill 1374, which aimed to boost financial incentives for solar installation in schools. Although this bill was vetoed, with the governor saying there were already enough energy incentives, this setback only deepened my determination to explore whether energy equity is truly being achieved. In the second step of my research, I used machine learning to examine the equitable distribution of solar across all California K-12 schools. We implemented a three-step approach that combines geospatial data processing, machine learning-based image classification, and socioeconomic analysis to assess the factors influencing PV adoption on school campuses. I used the California Schools district geolocation information for 9,996 schools. Once the geographic area for each school was determined, I retrieved high-resolution satellite images from Google Maps Static API. In the second phase, each tile was classified using a vision transformer architecture developed by the Stanford Deep Solar team during my summer work. In the third step, I merged the derived PV status with the table of socio and economical attributes such as enrollment size, demographic composition, financial resources, and political representation. The findings revealed higher than expected solar adaptation, with 5,503 schools having implemented solar systems. However, the equity gap is vast. Solar adoption declines sharply from 73% in well off communities to just 46% in disadvantaged communities. Here's the thing: California, my home, is facing more blackouts, wildfires, and extreme weather every year, and these threats are present to California communities at an increasingly disproportionate rate. However, AI promotes energy equity by identifying underserved areas and customizing energy solutions for diverse communities. By using AI to analyze consumption patterns, demographics, and local challenges, AI helps decision makers design smart interventions to ensure fair access to clean, affordable energy. This lets us direct renewable investments right where they're needed most, bridging gaps in rural and low income urban areas. AI isn't just another tool, it is a catalyst for a sustainable, equitable energy future that tackles climate change and advances social justice. Thank you, and I'd love to answer any questions now.
Thank you very much, Ella. Just a point of I want to share here. Back in 1986, I had a chance to go to Stanford University. I met John McCarthy, one of the fathers of AI, who I believe gave AI its name. It was called machine intelligence up to that point. He said, "No, let's call it artificial intelligence." So you have a question coming from Professor Preeti Raman of Toronto Metropolitan University.
Hi, Ella.
Hi.
Brilliant presentation. I love seeing your passion, and I hope that that is sustained and you can actually spread the message. Now, I have a question for you about kind of the border that has been on many of our minds. So many of us now are thinking about the role of AI in energy consumption. So as we're looking for, solutions using AI, we have AI responses switched on by default, and that isn't helping. So, as you may have known from your research, like an AI request consumes at least 10 times more, resources, electricity than a typical Google search would. So, given that you have seen success in using AI to inform climate initiatives in underserved communities, so how do you think you can use these findings to spread awareness and literacy around the role of AI and to ease some of this discomfort that we're feeling?
I think that's a great question. AI is an interdisciplinary tool in this regard because it has like these benefits, amazing benefits of identifying all these communities. Like there are 9,996 schools I've mentioned across California. And like if me alone was to go through all of them and look if there were solar panels on every single one of those 9,000 schools, it would be nearly impossible. But I think AI makes impossible things really possible, and it's just about how we use that tool and break the stigma around AI usage, showing how all these benefits can be achieved. And I'm taking all this research to the next step. Like currently, I'm working with our senator's office to back more legislation with the California Energy Committee, like using all this research and an interactive ArcGIS map that I put together from this research to really use it for policy and energy solutions. So while AI might use more energy in like Google searching and other forms of like accessing the internet, I believe it is a powerful tool that can be harnessed for the right things as well.
Great, thank you. Thank you for your insights there.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Ella. Ella, I just have a question. Do you plan to go into AI as a career?
I think what I want to go into is sort of like the intersection between business and
Mhm.
sustainability, like
Okay.
maybe patenting like sort of AI information and for things in that regard.
Okay, thanks. I just was curious about that. So, University of Toronto, Jim Sloda, I have a question for Ella, please.
Yeah, hi. I think we do some of that stuff here at University of Toronto. Maybe you could take a look at possible programs here. Also loved your presentation.
Thank you.
The passion and energy, and I can see you've presented this stuff to other other forums, including government. The fact that you brought real data in, the fact that you know uh, you presented very clear examples that started at home, that you presented work that you did at school. That stuff really, I thought, strengthened your presentation overall. The
Thank you.
example that ACE, utilized AI in one of its forms that existed well before the origin of GPT and large language models. There's a lot more to AI than chatbots. So thank you for that. Your essay suggested that the work you demonstrated in ACE would be able to grow deeper and more powerful in the near future. You mentioned that AI-driven approaches can support sustainable energy transitions, enhancing our understanding of social energy distribution and empowering policy change. So you and your classmates, and I guess you
Mm.
yourself, were able to use AI to reveal the variations in solar energy in schools and how that correlated with socioeconomics. And so AI was powerful in shining that light and maybe in influencing policy discussions, but that's somewhat indirect. My question is, can you think of ways, or I'm sure you might know some, but talk a little bit about ways that AI will come into sustainable energy more directly. How will AI enable smarter, more efficient, and sustainable energy production, distribution, and usage?
Amazing. Yeah, I think AI is such a powerful tool in direct applications as well, beyond applying energy solutions. For example, it can be used for optimizing area installation. That was the second area that we wanted to take this project into, identifying large land areas on schools or other facilities that can be used to optimize net metering and possibly creating microgrids for those communities, like sort of analyzing land area and previous distribution to apply it and make predictive solutions for other communities in these areas. Additionally, a couple of other things come to mind, like when thinking about direct application, for example, isolating optimal areas for microgrids as said above, but also predicting usage patterns throughout the day. Like we obviously have peak demand and other peak hours already, but I think that using AI for optimizing charging and discharging for EV vehicles, optimizing energy use and sustainable like pricing policies, AI for solar wind forecasting, I think AI is truly such a powerful tool that can be used in a lot of direct and also indirect applications for both soft and hard skills.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Thank
agree. And California always leading the way.
Thank you for the questions. Thank you for your answers, Ella.